that one thing that makes any advertising tick beyond the copy, beyond the visuals, beyond everything else is targeting. If you are reaching the right people with the right ad, with the right offer, you don't even need to sell it. It will sell itself, because it's all about reaching the right audience, people who could be pre-sold, people who could need your offer right now. That's why targeting is something that you really need to pay attention to, and this entire chapter is devoted to help you find better targeting options. So let's take a look at what Google Ads offers us on videos. Okay, so let's talk about how you can target demographics using YouTube ads, and let's go right into a demo. I think that's the best, to go right into the demo and see firsthand what kind of demographic targeting does YouTube give you. Alright, so here we are in Google Ads, and we are going to try and understand not only what demographics we can target, I mean this information is still here already, but how it's going to impact us in Google Ads and how you can use that to make your ads more targeted, to get better returns from your ads. So the first thing, and it's not exactly under the demographic section, but I want you to think about locations. Now with Google and almost every other social network these days, most of the traffic that is coming online, the fresh traffic, it's coming from Asian countries, and you have to really think about where your market is. So if you are selling something that appeals only to the people in the US, then it's not going to solve your problem if your ads are mostly shown in Asia, right? If you're showing your ads in Indonesia or India, most of the time you will be paying for clicks, but you will not get the traffic that will actually convert. So you got to keep in mind where is your offer relevant and try and target that zone very precisely. The best thing with Google Ads is you can target multiple zones, and you can also go pretty narrow in your targeting. So if you are a person, for example, who's got a local store and you want to maybe promote to people only in Las Vegas, you can do so. Just put in the city name in there and you will get the exact targeting, the Las Vegas city. You can even go statewide. So if you want to target all of Nevada, go to Nevada and you will get that targeting. So be granular, think about what region, what kind of people are relevant to you, and use Google's locations targeting to target only those people only in those areas. That is going to save you a lot of money, and when you show your ads to the right people, Google also builds up the learning to show it to more right people, and your conversions go up over time. So do that, it's very important for you. Next up is language. Now if you are selling a product, let's say you're selling a software, or you're selling a website membership that is only in English, and you have your target market, maybe even if it's the US, it's got a lot of people who speak a lot of different languages, maybe Spanish or other languages, and you can't sell to those people because they're not gonna make the money for you. So you only want to sell to the English speakers. So you can select the language that you want to target. Let's say you want to target English, and that way you can actually target specifically those people who are well versed with that language, who have that language option listed in their profiles wherever they are, or maybe in their behavioral patterns, and they can then actually use your product because they understand the language that you are working in, and they'll be able to use it. So if you are selling, for example, to the Spanish market in the US, like we can select anything over here, even a countrywide name, and you want to sell to the people who speak Spanish in the US, you can do so. Just put in the country name, put in the language, and you will be able to target people who speak Spanish in the US. So all of this targeting is inclusive, right? So it's not like people who speak Spanish or are in the US, it's combination. So you can use the combination to your advantage very well. Now moving on to the demographics. This is the demographics screen. These are the demographics option available to you, and you can see that these are check boxes, so you can choose to uncheck anything that you don't like. Of course, in every segment you have to check box at least one. So if you want to target only the males, if you got maybe a shaving product that is relevant only to males, or a makeup kit which is relevant only to females, you should target your own demographic market. So if you're selling something for shaving and you want to target only men, what you want to do is you want to start by changing the gender only to male, and then you want to go to the shaving age. So maybe people who shave more actively, so 25 to 65 plus, that's a pretty good range, or maybe even go narrower depending on how well groomed your audience is, or exactly what you're targeting with. So if you're targeting a beard product, maybe something to help people maintain their beards, then you would not want to target age groups which are too high, because typically they will be clean shaved, they will not maintain a beard because it's too much work. So you might want to target maybe 25 to 44 year olds, or even 45 to 54 year olds, but maybe not above that. So this is something that gives you a lot of granularity. Again, you can target exactly the market that you want to target. You can target people who are of a certain gender, of a certain age. And continuing with our example, do you want to target people who are parents? So if you want to target people who are specifically not a parent, do you have a product that appeals only to people who don't have children? Go for the not parent one. But if you got something that appeals to people who have children, you can go for the parent one, and just find out what is the segment that actually buys from you and use it. Now, household income, this is very interesting. If you're selling a product that's maybe a luxury good, or maybe it's a commodity that's more precious, more expensive, not exactly available in the stores, you might want to target people who are at the upper end of the income rung. So maybe the top 30%. Now remember this, the top 30% is a huge list, right? Because it's the top 1% who are the super rich, and beyond that, the top 30%, that might include nearly everyone who could be your buyer. Beyond the top 30%, there might not be so many buyers, because basically they're just buying the necessities, the commodities, not really buying anything that is of special interest. So maybe that market is not useful for you. But if you think you've got a commodity which is appealing to them, which is appealing all across the board, you can go as wide as possible. Now remember this, you're spending money on your ads, so it's good to experiment. Try experimenting with different ad sets. Run an ad set with different income target, run another ad set with another income target, and see how that works for you, because you'll be able to scale up the ad set that is responding well. So don't be afraid to create multiple ad sets. Now that's typically what I do too. I would have multiple ad sets running with the different names. For example, test campaign M, which is for male, 45 to 50. I typically use separators to just mark this off, and the last one, top 30. So that way I can just look at my campaign and see what is working well, what is not working well, and I will be able to then scale up the campaign that actually works. So use this technique to target people who are specifically your target market, who could be interested in the product, and run multiple campaigns to find out which one is the one that can scale and really get you the profits that you deserve.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and go to technicforce.com for more tools and training.